And we're back. Our guest for this portion is Joey Wignarajah. I knew I was going to do this. I'm going to get this right. Hang with me. Joey Wignarajah.
That's right.
Yes. Well, that's all the time we have. I'm teasing. Good to have you, lad.
But thanks for having me.
What is all this talk about changing the flag of Tulsa?
Well, we think it's time that Tulsa had a real flag and a real symbol that everyone can get behind. So right now, the flag is just Tulsa City Seal on a white background, which is pretty uninspired, and actually also a misdemeanor if you were to choose to fly it.
A misdemeanor?
Yes. So because it's the city seal, you're not allowed to reproduce it without the permission of the city, and if you do, then it's punishable by a misdemeanor.
Oh, go away.
It's there in the city ordinances. It is there.
Well, who wrote this?
You know, I think it was one of those accidental pieces of legislation. They said, here's the city seal. We don't want anyone to use the city seal, so that makes sense. But then when they took the city seal and put it on the flag, what it meant was, by the transitive property, you can't use the city flag.
So some little ferret-faced attorney sitting out there just waiting to sue.
Well, I've had this talk with the city councilors and the mayor. Unlikely anyone would ever get prosecuted for flying a Tulsa flag, but it would be a misdemeanor to do so.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's back up just a little bit. What would, and this is hypothetical, I won't put your feet to the fire, but these things aren't free. So if we do make the change, what's it going to cost us?
Well, so we committed to the city council that it would cost the taxpayers $0. And the way that we can say that confidently is that the city has no flags flying, actually. There are about four ceremonial flags that we committed to paying for to change. Everywhere else you see the city seal, it's fine. It's on city vehicles, maybe it's posted on a sign somewhere.
Worker shirts.
Worker shirts, those can all stay. We're not proposing that those change. We're just saying we want the people of Tulsa to have a flag that they can reproduce and hang outside their house, wear on a t-shirt, even get tattooed on them.
All right, now I'm getting on board with you here. I thought we were talking about a major shift in the overall image of what people advance for the city.
No, that's a common misconception. The way the idea came about is I was traveling with a group of Tulsans to Denver to visit some nonprofits, and when we were finished, we went to have a beer. And a man walked by, and I happened to see the back of his shirt, and it said Ida Red, which is a boutique in Tulsa. And I happened to just see that logo, and I said, hey, are you from Tulsa? And he said, yeah. I said, well, come sit down with us. We're all from Tulsa. And we had a great conversation. He said he loved the fact that he moved, but he really missed Tulsa. And that would have been a missed opportunity had I not seen a logo on the back of his shirt that was this big. So, so we started thinking about it, and we said Tulsa really needed something better than that.
So here we are, what? This is the 14th, I believe, and the deadline for submission...
Today's the 15th.
Is 15th? Okay.
Sorry.
Oh.
The deadline for submissions is today. We've been accepting submissions for about 6 weeks. In fact, originally we were only going to accept them for the month of January, but we had so much interest, so many designers asked us if we would extend the deadline. We extended it by 2 weeks, and we've gotten about somewhere around 250 submissions.
Really? Any from grade school children?
Absolutely, quite a bit. We one of the things that we did is we committed to the city council that we would engage grade school children. And so we went out and found a designer, a teacher of a design class at one of the high schools who helped us develop a curriculum which we pushed out to all the school districts in town.
Sweet. Are they going to have the little flags made too, I'm assuming, where they could be used on a desk?
Well, I think our plan is, I think what makes this really innovative is when we're done and the final design is selected, it will be released under what's called a Creative Commons license. It means that anybody can use it to make anything. So the city has committed to keeping it on their website. We'll keep our website up, and if you want to make a shirt, if you want to make mini flags or a big flag, whatever you want to make, you just have to get online and download it.
You know, it's intriguing to me because Tulsa has such diversity going for it. You know, I mean, you go to Denver, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a joint on their flag at some point because of the, the shift in what they've been talking, well, what's going on out there. We could have a beer on ours and get away with it. But at the same time, and and it would reflect a major interest right now, a shift in interest. But I don't know how in the world you're going to capture the main thrust of the interest of Tulsa, with a single flag. That's going to be tricky.
Well, so what we did, the first part of this whole process was to go out to the community and just say, what events were important in shaping Tulsa into what it is today? And we got some incredible input. The top two answers we got were the oil boom, sort of energy is very important here. The second most common answer was sort of the Black Wall Street history and the Tulsa race riots.
Very important. Very important.
We saw Art Deco was important, the Tulsa Sound was important, and then the Arkansas River and some of the other geographical features. And I think what's important is that we're not trying to pick one thing or even get everything that makes up. I'm sorry.
One final question. Sure. With the deadline on us, when can we expect a decision?
So the next step in the process is we've recruited a team of talented designers, creative types, art historians to whittle it down to 3 top designs. And those designs will be taken back out for a public text-in vote. So people will be able to just say, text whatever number, I like number 1. And the idea is we'll vote throughout March, and hopefully by mid-April we'll take it to the city council, and hopefully they'll officially adopt the flag by ordinance, and hopefully the mayor will sign it soon after.
Hey, keep us posted, will you?
Will do. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
We want to see what happens with this. It's quite an effort. Well, in case you didn't know it, some very important elements of the Civil War were played out in Oklahoma. We'll have more on that right after this.